Hello, good morning everyone. In the series of Alumni Talks, we are in week 2 and day 1, and we have the speaker Rishab Pandey, who was a 2015 passed out from CMR Technical Campus from ECE department, and he is now working as a investigations advisor at Amazon, and he's an amazing guy really, and he was really very active during his studies in BTech. He was a part of many clubs, and he was always roaming in the corridors, but he also used to maintain studies as well in a good way, that he never got any chance to get some scoldings from his faculty. He did well in his academics and in the extracurricular activities, in maintaining the clubs and doing everything what is ever possible in his student life. So he has lived his student life to the fullest, in my opinion, and he has enjoyed it a lot and he gained a lot of knowledge. And now we have him here so that he'll be sharing all his knowledge to us, and we'll be motivating you people, and also will be giving you chances and giving you the his experiences, so that how you can come up your problems, and how you will deal with faculty as well as the extracurricular activities and all. So we are very happy to have you here, Rishab. uh,
Thank you
now
so much, ma'am.
now you can start your session.
Now it actually feels great to listen about you in a third person perspective. But yeah, to be honest, ma'am, you actually summed up my whole college journey. So, I mean, okay, fine. Let me first introduce myself. So, as ma'am quoted, and as you can actually see on the Zoom call, my name is Rishab Pandey, and I'm actually born in Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. But then I can say that I've been very, uh, because of the nature of my father's work, uh, my father, he used to work in Air Force. So my whole childhood, we've been traveling. So you can say that actually I learned, or I actually got to learn a lot about the whole of India actually, because of the traveling. And also that I should actually tell you that it's been 27 states that I have traveled, some out of hobby and some out of, as I had said, my father's work. But then everything has taught me something or the else, to be honest. And I feel that even, so when I had joined college also, so it was way back in 2011, I still remember I had very happy memories, to be honest, even of the first day of my college. So I'm pretty sure everyone would be having those movie type of images, that you'll be roaming on the corridors, there'll be lovely canteens. And so I'm pretty sure everyone on this call would have had that the same image in their mind. And again, I was also a fresher at that time, I also had the same thing. But to be honest, college actually lived up to that expectation, because when I even see the other colleges also over there, I actually see that our infrastructure point of view, and trust me, currently the infrastructure is way too good. Anyway, I'll be talking more about it on further course of time. And in my 4 years of engineering, they have been very beautiful, to be honest. And yes, because see, some things you can't ignore. So of course, in these 4 years, you'll have to study. That is for sure, because you can't say that, okay, I like so and so things, but then at par with that, you'll have to study as well. So I was pretty clear with that thing in my mind, even from the starting, that whatever I want to do, I personally believe that these 4 years are too less for you to explore the world, because after that you won't get that leverage, to be honest. Because I don't know, many of you might not be even again knowing this part, but then even when I was in college, I was part of many initiatives. I'm not sure if you guys have the same thing right now, but I was the first president of ECE Association. So we started in our time in around 2015 at that time. And even I was very active with robotics and college organizing fest. So all the faculties might remember that I was actually roaming here and there in the whole college, or our corridors, only for gaining knowledge. To be honest, that was actually my agenda. So in my college itself, I had completed around 3 to 4 internships. So it was just not, I did not restrict myself only to technical internships, to be honest. So though in second year I did one technical internship in HAL, where I got to learn about the avionics of Su-30. It's a fighter aircraft. And apart from that, I was even interested to know about marketing and digital marketing and also HR side. So imagine just an engineering student doing marketing internships, doing say HR internships, leading a group of people of different colleges. And as such, I was part of initiators within the college. Even during my time, we even represented our college in BITS Pilani in robotics. So my main agenda, what I basically wanted to tell you guys is that in this 4 years, it is, I mean, actually very less for you to explore what you actually want in life, isn't it? So anyway, after that, after my college, luckily I got placed in Amazon. So I also had that phase. I remember that in my fourth year, all the companies used to come, and I was somehow confident that at least if I mean if I'm allowed to sit in a placement, I'll definitely go through the last round because I know I can talk in front of people. So I was pretty confident with that part. But then right, there are many companies who come with a criteria of academics part at 60%, and so basically I fumbled in my 12th class, so I did not get to have 60% over there. But I was confident that at least if they let me sit in the interview and whatever I have gained my experience, that would have actually helped me. But I'm happy Amazon came. Amazon did not have a percentage criteria, so that is something which I was actually looking forward to also. And again, my whole interviews in Amazon went beautifully, and I could actually showcase that whatever I have learned in these 4 years of college, what it can be useful to the company. So anyway, after that, I joined Amazon in 2015, and I joined in a process called as transaction risk management services. So it's actually like the police part of Amazon. So many of you might not know. I know, but even the people in college or even most of the students have the mindset that Amazon only comes for customer support or all the other backgrounds. But then there are a lot of software developers with very good packages in Amazon who are actually who are alumni of CMR. So again, if you are actually passionate for something in an e-commerce side, definitely you can try for Amazon. I'm not marketing though. I wish if Amazon can hear this and they see that I'm actually motivating you guys. But so what happened that in 2015, the moment I joined this process called as transaction risk management services. So this is something which actually is very new to me, to be honest. It is something where customers, they do frauds on credit cards. Customers basically, they give losses to the Amazon by unnecessarily taking refunds. So this is a part of my work where I actually have to catch hold of all those ill-intentioned people, fraudulent people, and those who genuinely want to abuse the policy. Like, for example, you might have heard in newspapers or also that people, they say that they falsely claim that they have gotten different item inside whatever what they had ordered. So our team basically looks into that part. After that, in 2016, luckily to me at least, demonetization happened. So during that time, basically my findings were very helpful to the company, and approximately I had saved around 3.5 crores to Amazon at that time, and which was actually recognized by my management, and I got promoted to senior investigations specialist at that time. After that, I actually moved to a couple of teams within Amazon. So one of them being product review teams. So you might have seen like how in YouTube you have various reviews and how they are helpful. Similarly to Amazon, reviews are also a very important part. So I was part of that team, and right now I'm an investigations advisor. I lead process initiatives, and I'm even part of all those inductions of people where I train and also mentor investigators who recently joined. So it could be that probably in next year, or even after, like there would be a couple of people who would be in the third or fourth year. So you might see me in Amazon later on as well. And apart from that, I'll be honest, even let it be my schooling, let it be college, let it be Amazon. One thing is that I was always curious to learn. And that is something which even you should not stop yourself at. So even this brief course of time, I mean, I'll be talking about how much industry ready was I. So I have a couple of agenda which I want to share it with you guys. So one being that how much industry ready was I when I had graduated. I'll be talking about the skills which is needed to get a job, at least in companies like Amazon, or at least in companies where you can say that, I mean, because my work is totally non-tech related, so I can actually guide you in terms of that. All right. So I can also tell you about how those skills which are needed for a job, how I acquired them, and I'll also talk about the current industry related standards so that even you can be benefited from that, and how you should focus to reach your goals. All right. So firstly, when it comes to how CMR helped me to attain these things, I mean, it goes without saying, trust me, guys, the faculty was very helpful. Let it be HOD, sir, even the faculty in our labs, or also teachers who teach us. I still remember HOD, sir, was super supportive during my time, that I just had to tell to sir that, sir, this is something I'm interested in right now. I heard that that random college is organizing a robotics fest, but then I'm having issues with my percentage. No, no, so sir used to tell me, don't worry, Rishabh, you go there. As long as you are able to learn something from it, that is more important. And that is actually something which it hit me very hard, that even now, even in my office, when I talk to my other colleagues, we discuss about our college lives for sure. So everyone tells the same thing, that they had a very bad time in their college. But trust me, I tell them that okay, everyone has their own ups and downs. So but then to me, at least, whenever it comes to support from college, I still remember we had Shravanti ma'am for sure. Even Naki sir was there. We had Aneem sir. But trust me, everyone over there was very supportive. Also, as I had told you earlier, also that I had organized a couple of college events. I was amongst those initiators who just give me a task and I want to do it. So one thing which even I learned from all that thing is that don't keep that in mind that you will definitely succeed in all the things. All right. You might fail, but then it is more important how you, I mean, what you learn from that failure. Also, that even those, I mean, the journey from your idea to the execution, has it taught you something in life or not? I can proudly say that though in my third year and fourth year, I was part of organizing events, and as I had told you that even I was part of ECE association, it was all about learning, and that never stops. And even today, do you think that your HOD or also our teachers, don't they keep on reading also? Because that is their field. They want to update it to the standards of the market as well. So they keep on even learning at that time. So that there is no stop to that. Even during EC association, how that helped me, because I was part of multiple group discussions, jams, and trust me, guys, the more you talk, the more you learn from it. Okay, so also in my terms, how I would like to quote this, that trust me, even you can ask yourself that you might be listening to someone, so you might listen to news, you might open YouTube or something, you look at a person who's speaking well and you try to think that, am I that good or not? Because trust me, guys, even if you want to do masters or if you want to do your job, one thing is for sure, that at least at one point of time you'll definitely sit at an interview. So those who think that, okay, and after third or fourth year, I anyhow have to go for masters, but then what after that? Don't you think that after that you will be definitely working in some or the other company or even in research? After that, you'll have to work, and for that you'll have to sit in interviews. You'll have to talk, isn't it? So I was To be honest, I was an introvert till my 12th class. I did not like speaking much. So college gave me a good opportunity where even I used to, I mean, you all remember, right, our first year ELCS labs. I still remember having that mirror in front of me. So firstly, you see that, okay, fine, yeah, you are well dressed. And then initially you fumble a lot, but then it's a good learning process, isn't it? So one thing I would like you guys to point it, I mean, I would really want you guys to note that start practicing more. You might make mistakes, and even till date, I'm not saying that I'm good in speaking, but then at least I also know that there are a couple of mistakes which I would be doing, but I learn from it, isn't it? So that's how you should also start learning. And also in terms of how college helped me, I still remember CRT classes were very helpful to us. So though, I mean, I'm not sure how many of you guys are eligible for that right now because of your, I mean, if you've been third year, fourth year, but that actually keeps you ready for the initial rounds, and college actually helped me with that. And trust me guys, college has good exposure when it comes to how to train people for uh, say interview, not interview as such, but then for all those written exams before that, quants especially, because I used to be, I mean, I had a very tough time with quants, to be honest. So I'm happy that college helped me with that. Apart from that, yeah, how much industry ready was I when I graduated? So as I had told you guys, I had done multiple internships that helped me a lot. Even I remember, even in my interview, that was a good point, that because I had varied experience. So the interviewer actually asked me that since you have done so many things, I mean, don't you think that you wanted more? I was like, exactly, I wanted more. So just that engineering is of 4 years, though I did not want to extend that, you understand, right? But I really wanted that, I want to learn more even after engineering. Still, that hasn't stopped. I make sure that at least I do something new every month, even till date. So it's been like 5 years. I've been working with Amazon, and also 5 years since I've graduated. But then I make sure that every month I learn something new, isn't it? So even when I actually talk about how industry ready was I, so trust me guys, company needs a person who can be molded in a way they want. Okay, so you might be knowing that a lot of people tell you that you should study C++, you should study Java and all those things. But the only reason what they want is that when the company demands at that time, you should be able to give back to the company at that time. So that is what they actually need. So when it comes to being industry ready, I think that all these mock sessions, group discussions, jams, they actually helped me a lot. And trust me, guys, you should be eager to learn. So I've been repeating that multiple times, but then that is the emphasis which I want to give you guys. Okay. And company standards are totally different when compared to your college. College life, mein, you are more, I mean, you could be laid back. You could have that, okay, fine, tomorrow you have assignment submissions. Even there would be a couple of faculty who can accept that, okay, fine, give it day after tomorrow. But then trust me, with that attitude, companies do not work. So you have to be company ready also, because at that time you actually become a professional. So seriousness definitely comes into your mind. So I would say that by the time you are in your third or fourth year, you should actually start living that life. I mean, start giving yourself those goals. Okay, fine, by next year I would be in a company, because you should actually give yourself that josh, that yes, I want to be placed, and for that what all things I need to do. Okay. And some of you might disagree because you might not be aiming for placements, but then I would actually want to help those people right now who are aiming for placements, because trust me, it's always good to have a placement in your hand even if you want to join that company or not, isn't it? And market is very fast changing. So I knew this point even from start, that market is fast changing, and you need to adapt to changes in a very sophisticated manner. So right now, for example, those people who want to go to say technical side, who wants to do Java or C++ over there, you should take it from my, I mean, I have my friends who keep on telling me that a person who was trained in C++ when he joined, now he's doing say SAP, or he's even doing Python. So you should adapt to change. That is something right now you should very clearly get into your heads, that market won't run with your preferences. So whatever is happening over there, they need that, isn't it? So I'll be talking now about more towards now the skills you need to get a job. Firstly, of course, I would want you to know that whatever the skills which the company demands, or basically the market demands, basically it could be your technical side, may you can get learning programming languages and stuff. But then trust me, don't do it for the certificate's sake. Do it to learn something new out of it. So I might say that even in my third year, I did I mean, from embedded systems, I did a course in Abbott's. But then trust me, that was only for certificate. Right now, if you ask me why right now, even at that time, if you would have asked me, I would have still said I have zero knowledge about it. So just because the whole world was doing, I was also doing it. But then that should not be your agenda. You should do it to learn something. And apart from that, you should boost your confidence. That is very important. In interviews, whenever you will sit, the person who will be taking your interview will actually see that are you able to take stress in future, will you be able to give something to the company. So you should have that confidence in you. And how would you improve confidence? Firstly, I would say that start giving those goals to yourself, that okay, I want to learn something this now, and even after that, now uh, give very realistic goals. All right, so it has to take some baby steps first, that okay, I'm aiming to be a good public speaker, say for example. Then how can I attain that? Firstly, I might learn a good words initially. After that, okay, let me talk in front of my family, because families and friends are very supportive. And you might fumble and start, but then at least that is the next step. After that, you go to a bigger forum, isn't it? So give yourself very doable goals. That is what I want you to start practicing now. That now, the more you speak, the more you learn. That's the simple mantra. You should improve your communication skills. That is very important part whenever you're sitting for for these interviews and stuff. Have a very good positive attitude, because until unless you are convinced from within that what you are doing, or the place where you are going for interviews, that is what you want to be, then that itself solves a lot of doubts in your head, isn't it? So these skills, how I acquired. So as I said, I was curious to learn, and even to me, I felt that reading is something which helped me. I read a lot in college, but then trust me, I did not read technical stuff. All those EDC books, I still remember. I still have it, but then that is just adding weight to my library. But I actually read a couple of novels, and many of us, they don't like reading. That's a fact. So I remember my family used to push me that at least start with reading newspaper. That will be good to you. I read newspapers, so initially I had a very short attention span. Right now, at least I can say that. I mean, it's not that short attention span now. Anyway, so how I acquired these skills? Firstly, that you remember, right, how college helps us with jams, GTs. So if you look at jam sessions, what exactly is it? You are actually talking about a topic for 1 minute. It could be it's basically impromptu, right? You're given the topic at that very moment, and then you start speaking on that, isn't it? So similarly, the whole corporate works like that. You might be called in a couple of meetings where you don't even know the agenda. You are just looking at whatever your boss or your team is telling you, and then they ask your opinion. So you should be ready with that, isn't it? So one thing which I think that I might say that, yeah, we are not told that way, but then they just fear that, okay, I should not sit for jam sessions. So whenever they have planned jam sessions, I'll take leave. at that time. But then this is how it helps in your career also, that all those things which you did in your college, like small things, just a 2 minutes jam session actually has a big impact in your life as such. Even the group discussion which you do, what exactly is group discussion? It's just a couple of people sitting talking about a topic, isn't it? And that's what happens in team meetings in corporate life. You sit with your team, you discuss about what you're planning for your team or for the department, how you'll be able to achieve it. So just the same things which happen in college, but on a different amplification level, right? And I I actually sat down one day to chalk down things like, okay, what my seniors tell me that in their company this is what they do, and what can I do right now from that time. So even I start keeping very achievable goals. I knew that okay, on a single day you cannot become a professional as such. And even I can say that right now it's been 5 years of my working at Amazon, and I still say that I have a lot of flaws, but I have accepted that, and that's how you learn. And you basically try to avoid doing the same mistakes again, because someone once told me that you do one times mistake, it's acceptable, but then another time you do the same mistake, it's not a mistake, it's a choice, isn't it? So this thing I really like, that do mistakes, learn from it, but then don't do the same mistake again and again. You're not learning out of it, you're not doing something different, isn't it? So that was about how things which I did from my end, and also basically a lot of my college stuff and the company what they need. So let's talk about more about the current industry standards. Your faculty would be telling you, even you would be having your own parents or also your friends, your seniors, who would guide you that how industry or basically corporate is totally different when compared to college. Yes, and as I had mentioned, you can't survive with the college attitude that hota na ki I'll just continue like that. Nah, you have to change yourself if you are like that. But apart from that, you should understand that in corporate or also in industries, you have cutthroat competition. So the competition you might right now, if you feel that it is within the college or within the class, that time it is for your survival, to be honest, because you are working for a job, and eventually if you, I mean, if your your main idea is that you want to survive, and also that you want to thrive in that particular organization, isn't it? We're not just here just to sit for the money. You also want to make your career also out of it, isn't it? So the competition is very tough outside. And start thinking that how can you be an asset to the company or an organization. It could be anything. So this thing is applicable throughout your life. How you can be an asset to the place you are. Now ask yourself, how can I be an asset to the college? Now sub-classify it. How can I be an asset to the to our department, say, for example. Now I remember that even my third year mini project, I had made um, LED board. So I knew that it was just for my mini project, but then I thought that this can also help the college also. So I don't know now. I'm not confident it would be still there or not, but at least in my in my fourth year, I could see that my mini project, I could actually see that it was like a notice board over there. So that is how even I can say that how I
We
contributed.
have many like that now, Rishabh. Every corridor we have that LED boards. We'll display everything that is going to be to in order to reach to the students. We just display on that.
That's amazing. I mean, that's seriously good. So that's what, guys. So that is something which I did way back in 2014. Now start coming up with more innovative ideas. Don't just do it for the college or for the, do it for yourself. That should actually push you to do multiple things. And I'm pretty sure that, I mean, there'll be many amongst us who would have multiple ideas in their heads. You might fail, you might be even mocked by a lot around you, but then that should not just stop you to not doing it, right? So even every invention, if you look at it, they we just look at the final result. that okay fine, that so and so person has achieved this and I also want to become that. We forget that what is the journey of that person, isn't it? So even that person could be you, and even till now many of you, I'm super confident with that part, would have had some or the other idea in your head. Start implementing it. It could be in terms of, it could be technical, non-technical, whatever, irrespective of that, do something. And right now guys, trust me, you might have heard the same thing, that there are so many engineers in the world. So how can you be different from at least some sect of people? If you just directly go to college, come back, do your exams, you are just amongst millions right now, isn't it? So I'm sure for one fact that at least our department, we have that, I mean, I have that confidence with you guys, that over a period of time, how you even learn this thing from your faculty, that we are no ordinary students for sure. EC department, I have that confidence, even how I have seen my own friends transform. Now there are many of them, they are in US, they are in Australia, they are even leading multiple projects in many companies. We all discuss the same thing, that how, I mean, when we were back in college, how small things we used to do, and that now in current life it got amplified to a bigger level, isn't it? So now one thing is very clear for sure, that if you're aiming for a good company, now chalk down firstly the list of list of companies basically you want to aim, and then research on that company. Like okay, fine. This, so for example, just out of nowhere, I was thinking about L&T, say for example. So what do they do? They are into multiple things. So slowly, you should start doing that research on those companies, and that's how you should actually, I mean, be ready for those companies as such. Because when I remember when Amazon had come to college, I actually, before that I did not even have an account on Amazon. Imagine, that was the time. And they even asked me in my interview that so do you have Amazon account? So someone told me that it's better to be bluntly honest in interviews. So I went on with that. I told him that no, I do not have an account. But then luckily I somehow managed to come out of that question. But then not everyone can be that lucky all the time, right? So whenever you are sitting on an interview, or also whenever you are preparing for a company, do a thorough background research about that. And that is applicable even for those people who want to do masters. Don't you guys study about that particular college which you are aiming to go, isn't it? Now, how to focus basically, I'll talk now more about how to focus on to reach your own goals. First and foremost is like, it's a very practical approach. Trust me guys, everyone, even it is applicable for the daily chores which you are doing at home, or it could be even when, if you want to become, say, a very successful entrepreneur, or it could be very successful professional as such in companies. One thing is that every person who's basically aiming to do something good, they have goals in their mind. And by goal, I mean it's very clear cut goals. It's not that to me one goal could be that okay, fine, I want to be done with engineering. That is not that goal. Or even if it is a goal, are you taking it seriously? So whatever you have in your mind, just be very clear with that part. That okay, I want to do something that big. For some persons, for some people it could be that getting a placement could be that goal which they want. For someone it could be clearing their supplies could be a main goal, isn't it? So how you should reach to that goal is that you should divide it in your mind, that what is a short term and what is a long term goal. Okay, even it is practically applicable to every field. You should have a short term and long term goals. So in, like, say for example, if you are sitting for placement, because eventually everyone wants to be placed. So how can you have a short term goal? Your short term goal could be that okay, like right from this day, I'll learn one or two new words, or at least I'll keep a note of all the new words which I read, and at least on Saturday and Sunday I'll just revise it again, or I'll just again look at how I can use it in different words. So you're improving your vocabulary at that time. And also in short terms, you can also put things like Now you want to say talk in front of people. How can you do that? Now make your parents sit in front of you or your friends, anyone, basically your well wisher, because a person who's jealous of you might not help you that way. So just make that person sit in front of you and talk. You can talk rubbish in front of that person, but then talk. That will actually help you overcome with that fear of talking in front of people. Most of us, we have different thoughts going on in our head whenever we are talking. That, oh my god, I might make mistake. What will that person think? Trust me, guys, all that doesn't matter. You are standing in front of it. Actually takes guts to stand in front of the whole class. Don't you remember your ALCS time when standing in front of the class used to give you nightmares? I'm pretty sure everyone listening right now would have, I mean, nostalgia would have hit them at that moment, that yes, that even they all have gone through the same thing. So that's what, guys. Give yourself very realistic short term goals where you are able to achieve that. And that feeling of accomplishment that you have actually done with those short term goals will actually push you further to do big things in life. Trust me, guys, it is actually proven that if you are even doing small things couple of times, you it is like inertia. Now it actually pushes you to do even big things. So eventually, in your long term goal, you can say that, like how I started giving an example of how to be a good speaker at least. So in long term, you can say that at least by next year, I want to be a part of, say, whenever there's a college event, it could be annual day or something. I want to be part of that group who talks in front of people. Like you would be having those MCs who talk in annual days, sports days, and all those things. So I want to be that person, isn't it? So that's what, this is just a small example, and it is practically applicable everywhere. That setting up clear expectations. Now, goals do not come directly. It is always followed by, or not exactly followed by, you have the agenda of something called as the deadlines. Give very realistic deadlines that, okay, I see myself as a speaker by that particular time. And it should not be that, okay, fine, I'm falling short because, so that means you're not serious for that goal, isn't it? Now, that is even applicable, say, for your studies as well. Now, give yourself a deadline that at least by this, I mean, if you're reading something, you should be master of it by that so and so time. Okay, by master, I mean at least you are able to learn that and implement in your, say, your exams and stuff. But then basically, whenever you are giving yourself a deadline, it is clear that you are serious for that goal. Okay, and it should not be impractical deadlines that I want to read whole, say, Harry Potter book in 5 hours. People might do it. Then should I change my example to 1 hour? I doubt that people might do that then. So see, that is unrealistic goal settings. Basically, keeping deadlines. What I would want you guys to do at least is, I mean, it all depends on what particular, say, I mean, you might have different schedules, and you might be even in different uh, classes right now. I'm not sure about that, but at least depending on how much time you have for completion of your engineering, make a good learning calendar in front of you. This has actually helped me, and I still have it right now. It's not a calendar as such that it has dates and stuff, but basically it has things which I want to do. Like currently, I'm interested in nurturing a bonsai plant. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, bonsai is a very small miniature tree sort of a plant. So I'm interested to do that. So what I'm doing, I'm reading multiple articles about it. I'm even going through YouTube channels and stuff. So I know that at least by June ending, I want to, like, done with learning about bonsais. Next, after that, I'm totally, it's totally off topic. I actually want to learn something about machine learning. So I might not be able to master that, but at least in my 2020, because I am pretty sure it's not going as planned for many of us. So I had thought that at least I'll do something else. So in my original set of plans, I wanted to travel to a different destination. So I love traveling, but since that is not possible, I want to learn something while I'm at home, apart from my normal regular work of office. So make yourself a proper learning calendar in front of you that, okay, this is something which I want to do. It could be your college related, it could be something which you want to improve as your skills as such, but that actually helps, guys. So basically, this is something which I wanted to share, that I know it might sound that I have given a lot of gyan for today, but I would actually would love to interact with more and more people even in future. I remember coming to college for alumni meet, and I'm not sure if you many of you were still there or not, but I loved interacting with students because I like telling you guys that how fortunate you are right now when compared to how we were in our times. Though we had very supportive faculty, but the infrastructure point of view right now, when I see we have a good auditorium. So I know these points which I'm saying are currently not applicable because you might not be going to college right now, but one day or the other, when again you'll go back, you actually will feel happy that, okay, there were your seniors who did not get to enjoy the same things which you have right now. Yet at least if we could do that without those infrastructures or without those particular helps, definitely you can do it. So now one thing is that you get yourself convinced that every one of you right now sitting in this call, and even those who would be listening this, you are capable of doing something big. And even by big, it could be your definition of big. Someone could say that, yes, I want to be placed. Good, you will be placed for sure, but you should be convinced that you will be placed. So if you don't have that confidence in you, why would someone else would hire you as such, isn't it? So every day, look at the mirror, talk to yourself, tell them that, yes, you, I, yes, you will be placed for sure. All right. So give that confidence in you, and that trust me, it helps. It helps a lot. So that is something which I really wanted you guys to know also. And yeah, that's been my journey, and that's my gyan for today. So any of you or
Yeah, any
anyone in the call,
questions? Any
questions, more than welcome.
questions?
Yeah, Rishab, this is Shrikant, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing good, sir.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And coming to dear participant who are listening, this batch is really it's like a is a full of uh, what all people who are mix of all blenders or flavors. Yes, some of them are good in technical skills, some of them good in activity skills, some of them are good in uh, the technical part or marketing part. This batch is marvelous batch. Uh, they have brilliant people, all variety people are brains for there. We really, till now we never find this type of batch, I can say confidently, because we have talented people and we have the people who can handle the things, and the people we have who can marketize our event. We have people who technically they can teach the thing to other people. So Rishab is one person, because already he told many things. I know Rishab many times. If you give a 5 minutes time, really he will make other side person is impressive, and he will attract to that person to his side. That is his talent. And coming to, he is having a little bit always the problem. What it's a intermediate problem. He used to many his friends used to attend the interviews, but he's going to stay in the class. He used to come to me, sir, मेरा interview के sir कुछ company आई है, something any company should come, then I will crack, sir. I am talent. I told him to wait, your term is going to, I know is, I am very confident on him because he is having a talent. Once you give a chance of attending interview, if we go to the up to the HR level or something level, after clearing, definitely will impress other person to take him into the company. So I that is the a talent of Rishabh. Um, and one more point I want to tell about the Rishab. Rishab is not that much talented in technical skills, but he is having a talent of impressing others. He can speak with others how to handle the situation, and he is really always very active. That is what is success thing. He is very active, and he used to tell he always loves and enjoy the things whatever he want to do. He's always moves in corridor, but he always speak with politely, and he always attract other person. And I used to feel very happy that when I talk with the Rishab, he will used to say some jolly, or he used to say some words, sir, hota hai sir, sab kuch chalta hai, we are learning sir, we will do that. But he's a person, he's a person very with good skills and learning skill. I can say is a quick learner. He will like a water you pour into the any bottle or in glass, it will take its shape. I really uh, very happy now. Rishab is doing well in company, is performing very well, and is very flexible, a very flexible person. And he always there is no restrictions, he will adjust with the situations. And they conducted many events. They are the people, the first in the college they conducted the robotic event with along with the IITs. Then they conducted many events, and they released the magazines. uh, they are brilliant students. We at the time we at that time we have. Rishabh, my question is to you now. Is it compulsory that the percentage is a criteria, or your internal skills what you have, and you have to focus on that, and you have to improve that, then you have to wait for your time, and you have to wait for the company which suits for you, which suit for you. Is it needed here that we should not compare with the others, and we should not disappoint that somebody is doing well or you are not doing well? Can you little bit elaborate? Because we have, I can say, because every student, every person is not a brilliant, because they have internal talent. I know your percentage is very less, but how you shape yourself, I really feel very happy when you have the 50% grade, but you are doing wonders in your company. How you are change yourself, and how you are motivated when other are do attending the companies, yourself, how you are taken into the confidence, and you made to after entering into the company, you made yourself very comfortable, and your companies are, you are getting very good appreciation from your boss. Can you tell that your things, what should uh,
Sure, sir.
a normal student can do?
Right. So, firstly, thank you for the question, and secondly, thank you for even introducing like that to the students. And now to answer your questions, to be honest, I was it goes way back in my 12th class. So at that time, I was not, obviously it's a learning phase, right? We all know that right now the maturity, even when it comes to at this very moment, is it will be completely different when it would have been when you were a small kid, or even right now also when you when all these students, if you guys, if you start even looking at your way of thinking, the what you used to think in first year is completely different what you used to think right now, and trust me, that will be completely different way ahead in future as well. So one thing is for sure that initially when I was in 12th class, I was more into basketball, and practically even I remember representing college also. So for all 4 years I was very happy with basketball also. But at that time I did not know how to strike a balance. That is something which I learned. So, see, let bygones be bygones. Now, I cannot change my 12th class percentage right now, but at least what have I learned from it? The learning part, or basically the lesson, is what is important. So, trust me, guys, experience is a very hard teacher. I mean, if you can actually write it down, it's a very nice quote which I read it somewhere. Experience is a hard teacher. It gives the test first and the lesson afterwards. So I learned it from my experience that okay, fine. See, this is gone. Now what else can I improve? That is when in my from second year onwards, I can say that first year just went understanding what college life is, but from my second year onwards, I can proudly say that I knew that this 12th class percentage will always haunt me until unless I overcome something out of it. So some I should do something big so that it overshadows this thing. I mean my numbers. That's why I started taking initiatives. I started doing multiple things. So one thing which, so I'm not sure, might, I mean, not every person on the call might be able to relate to it, but at least there would be some person also who would have this academics as an issue. But trust me, guys, I mean, you cannot deny, but then the system right now is in a way that they look out for the numbers, but then when you come out, when you actually step in the in companies, no one is going to ask you about your 12th class marks, leave alone 12th class. No one will actually ask you about your BTech percentage. But then why do we even study? That's a very like first question which will pop to your head. You can't avoid that. At least until unless you get you complete your degree, you won't be able to work in a company. So one thing leads to another. It's like a domino effect. If you cannot, I mean, if you are having decent score at least in say college, then you'll get a job, you'll go to the next level. But then you should have a clear cut idea in your mind that if you know that at least say like if academics are low, then improve on multiple things. So there would be definitely some or the other company, and even you can take my name for writing that every person on you or on this call, or every person in the college will be employable at the end of say 5 or 6 years for sure. I mean, I'm not saying that by the sixth year only you will get employed, but then one way or the other, because I still remember HODs are telling us this thing itself, that earning is not the point problem, because one day or the other you will definitely start earning. But then it might take little time for someone, it might be instantaneous for someone. Like at least to me, I can say I was fortunate enough that I got a company like Amazon who did not even bother looking at the marks of students. So similarly, for some people, you might be aiming for a technical job, but then again there might be various opportunities. So just not restrict, firstly, just not restrict yourself to campus placements. If you are confident that yes, I can crack something. So many of you might be even knowing about Piyush and many alumni also who have actually gone to pool campus drives, and they have even gone to multiple places where placements were going on. So you will definitely have opportunities, that's for sure. And India being a market where, I mean, companies actually need young minds, you should just not be just another engineer, to be honest. You should be an engineer who is different in some or the other different way. All right. So one thing which I want to actually sum up with this uh, answer is never stop learning. Never stop learning. It could be learning in terms of reading. It could be learning in terms of life lessons also. But have that craving that I want to learn something, and that will eventually see. It's like a balance of life. If you are doing something good this way, definitely you are doing of something positive. It will definitely come back to you. So I hope so that answers.
Hello.
Hey, hi Nikki.
Hello. Hey, bro. Hi.
Hi.
So, uh, hey all. My name is Nikhil. I'm the alumni. So I would like to share my personal experience working with Rishab bhai in the because this is like where all our juniors and faculty were also there here. Uh, I would tell that like I got to got connected with Rishab bhai during my first years. This was like during my first years. I am like he is my super senior, like senior to my senior. I got an opportunity to work with my seniors right from first year. uh, I got an opportunity to work with them for a campaign called Viber. Then after, because like I was new to college, then after I was new to this kind of these words called internship also. But the kind of impact that an opportunity that has created is like when seniors have left this thing, they have got they have connected me to a lot of different network. There is other person who would I would like to although remember his name is Hemant. Hemant is also a friend of Rishab. So both people have given me a lot of very good insights. I have learned a lot of things from them. And what exactly happened was, along with me, there are a lot of friends like who got 100 to 200 plus opportunities using that existing network, which super seniors has helped us. Apart from that, they were very active in conducting departmental activities. All those things, departmental activities helped us. We took it to next level. We started in the form of clubs, and whenever we want any guidance, even till date, also when I want some help in Amazon, I just call up Rishab, telling that, "Bhaiya, ye hona mere ko," and we get things done as soon as like seniors are someone. There was no ragging. They were like what could I tell that they were like our brothers who has helped, and trust me that we got an ample like very good amount of it. It might be not changed the kind of transformation which we got, which has helped us to gain, because like I'm also not good at that much academics, but I could able to manage that academics. And apart from that one, whoever has done these kind of internships and utilized all the extracurricular activities have got placed somewhere or the other way. Even like if you take my scenario also, I got placed in a couple of companies, but I did not go to software jobs. Rather, I wasted some time, like 6 months, and tried something, failed something, learned something. Then after started an agency. Currently now I'm working as a consultant for government of Telangana for one initiative. This is the whole thing which I could tell you is that all because of the opportunities and a senior's help, because like this I could tell you that complete. See, I got to work with a lot of very big brands like Microsoft, Dell, Viber during college days itself, and that too without knowing any coding skill or zero technical skill. Simply, it's all about communication, presentation. We only had Facebook account, a Twitter account, Instagram account on those days, and we were working with a lot of people across India, and that's how we utilized opportunities. Rishabh bhai, I would like to ask you one question. What is some kind of something you would like to tell to your juniors who miss opportunities?
All right.
Yeah, and also other question: how do you stay super energetic always? What is the secret behind that?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the question, but then, yeah, thanks for reminding me about those internships again, Nikhil. Yeah, it is actually, see, it is both way rounds, to be honest. A senior is incomplete without his juniors, and obviously it goes that. But we were very happy to have such good, amazing juniors, and that's why even till date we all are connected. And I'm pretty sure that everyone on this call will have their own set of seniors and their juniors. It is something which is you'll have your own networks. Because I'm talking about networks because whenever I think about networking, I think about Nikhil. So first thing is that people, those who miss out on opportunities, I would say that this is not the end of your world. And even to me, I mean, I am the living example. I we used to think in my third or fourth years, and there used to be my classmates who used to make fun of me even by saying that uh, let a company come, you will definitely crack it. But deep down, I used to have that thing that okay, let the company come, but what about my scores and stuff? So one thing is for sure that a lot of companies came, they went. I was not even eligible to sit, but I did get placed, isn't it? Similarly, there would be multiple initiatives, and why only restrict yourself to companies? There would be multiple entrepreneurs even on this call who would be thinking that okay, yes, I'm just waiting for the college to be over and I want to start something else, isn't it? So again, that is something, not like not every person is able to have that feeling that they might be able to start a business. They can be part of a business, isn't it? So one thing is very clear, that you might miss out on some opportunities, but don't think that that is the end. All right, you might. So let what's the worst case scenario? Like every company came in placements, but still you did not get a job, isn't it? So what? Will that stop you to apply for pool drive campuses? I mean, pooled placements. You'll definitely go to some other colleges, and trust me, every interview or basically every place where you'll go for getting job will teach you something or the other. And right now, it is still applicable to me also. Even though I am in Amazon, even I keep on applying for various different departments within Amazon. We do have